why is everybody obsessed with milk thistle? Is it actually the queen of liver-supporting herbs? Or is this just another overhyped supplement? Today we're cutting through the noise. We're talking about what milk thistle really does inside your body, how its active compound, silymarin, supports your liver on a cellular level, and why it's one of the most studied herbs in modern herbal medicine. But we're also talking about what people get wrong. Because while milk thistle can be incredibly supportive, it isn't the magic fix most people think it is. And by the end of this conversation, you'll know exactly whether this herb belongs in your routine, and I'll give you one science-informed protocol if you want to support your liver with milk thistle today. If your wellness journey has you stuck in a cycle of overwhelm and inconsistency, it's time to lean in. Together, we are unlocking the confidence and clarity to make your health feel like a peaceful return home. Welcome to the Health Habit Podcast. I'm Maria, a nature-loving herbalist, science-obsessed nutrition therapy practitioner, and your guide to holistic healing. If you're ready for realistic routines that bring more presence and fulfillment into your life, then brew up some tea or crack open a kombucha and let's get into it. Now, before we dive into today's topic, I want to invite you into something that will make your entire wellness journey feel lighter, calmer, and so much more doable. Inside my one-on-one wellness consistency coaching, we take confusing wellness topics like herbal detox, liver support, and nervous system care and break it down into simple daily practices that will actually work in your life. If you're tired of guessing what your body needs, if you're overwhelmed by all the supplements and protocols, or you're just craving a plan that you can trust, a plan to put it all together, wellness consistency coaching is where clarity finally clicks into place. So join me today at thehealthhabit.net/services. Again, that's thehealthhabit.net/services. So what is milk thistle and how does this even work? Milk thistle has become one of the most widely used herbal supplements for liver support, and it's not without reason. There's an active compound inside this herb called silymarin. And silymarin is made up of multiple compounds called flavonoligands, which hopefully I'm saying correctly. And these flavonoligands are powerful antioxidants. They also have anti-inflammatory and anti-fibrotic effects. Antifibrotics are medications or therapies that aim to reduce the excessive deposition of fibrous tissue. And it's this fibrous tissue that makes up fibrosis. Think pulmonary fibrosis. And by slowing the deposition of this tissue, we help to preserve organ function. Now, back to milk thistle. Milk thistle is most famous for protecting liver cells. It helps stabilize their membranes and support liver repair. Now, there are a few other herbs that have been found to actually help with regeneration, but milk thistle is the one that has been researched the most. Let's go over what researchers are consistently finding about milk thistle. And I do need to highlight that, as is the case with most herbal research, is scientists will find what they believe to be the most bioactive compound. So this is the compound that's causing the most change in our body's physiology and thus is linked to the benefit that they want to provide in the body. And unfortunately, when this happens, you can end up with some really powerful medicine, but when you look at the whole herb, there are tons of bioactive compounds that all work in synergy. So a lot of this research is primarily focused on silymarin as compared to milk thistle in its whole form. Now, personally, as an herbalist, I'm very pro using the whole plant because we don't understand all of the synergy of all the bioactive compounds And again, this is my personal belief. I don't think that we're smarter than nature. And even if the medicine is a little bit less potent, I feel much more comfortable working with herbal, whole plant remedies, especially when we're thinking about long-term care, as is the case with a lot of liver conditions. Because once we get to the point of having non-alcoholic liver disease or cirrhosis, often you will need to be taking these herbs a little bit more long-term. And when the research is focused on silymarin concentrates, there can be some confusion with how to dose, because most of the research is focused on milligrams of silymarin as composed to how many teaspoons of the herbal material are we making into a tea. So this, again, really the case with a lot of herbal remedies, because a lot of medicines start off as an herbal remedy and they're like, oh, this plant works really, really well. What's making it work? This bioactive compound for sure. Let's make it into a pharmaceutical. And when we're concentrating, when we're really fine tuning into a pharmaceutical, it's great because it creates one sure outcome generally. But when you have one sure outcome, when we're forcing the body into one particular path, this is where side effects can become an issue. So, little side rant. Now back to the research. There are 5 main benefits that have been found consistently when we're studying milk thistle and silymarin. Silymarin reduces oxidative stress. This makes it act like a potent antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals before they can damage liver cells. Because remember, oxidative stress is essentially angry atoms roaming around the body and stealing from other cells. And when they steal, damage happens. The other thing that researchers are finding consistently about milk thistle is it reduces inflammation. Silymarin modulates inflammatory pathways in the liver, directly reducing liver inflammation. It also blocks toxins from entering liver cells. The 4th thing they're finding is that it supports tissue repair and protein synthesis. This is why it's studied in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, alcoholic liver disease, and hepatitis, and why it's getting so much press. And as I mentioned, it slows fibrosis, which is why some research suggests lower liver-related mortality. So milk thistle has in fact been studied in alcohol-related liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and viral hepatitis, as well as drug-induced liver injury and early-stage cirrhosis. And about 2/3 of clinical trials are showing improvements in liver enzymes when treated with milk thistle. That is amazing. But this is the really important thing. The effects vary by dose, and this is the case with all herbal products. And what also changes things is the product quality and obviously how advanced the liver issues are. So with all herbal products, you want to make sure you are dosing correctly and choosing high quality plant material. So is milk thistle and silymarin the primary bioactive compound in milk thistle? Is it worth the hype? Absolutely. Research is suggesting it's going to be incredibly helpful for helping any kind of liver-related disorder. But let's talk about what milk thistle is not. It's not a miracle cure. This is so important to highlight because even us wellness girlies are guilty of sometimes grabbing a supplement or grabbing a herb thinking that it's just going to magically correct the things that we keep doing that are negatively impacting our life. No, if you are doing things that consistently damage your liver, milk thistle is not the Band-Aid that's going to just make it all not even negatively impact you. You need to also consistently help support the liver with your daily practices. So, what do we do with this information? Well, your liver is one of the most overworked organs in modern life because it's responsible for detoxifying chemicals and processing hormones and metabolizing fats, clearing inflammatory waste. It's so overburdened because our world is more and more full of toxins. And when your liver does get overburdened, you feel it. not as like liver pain, but as fatigue, hormonal imbalances, skin issues, irritability, inflammation, slow, sluggish digestion, difficulty concentrating, and just general brain fog. Most women have some kind of sluggish liver function, and we don't even realize it. And often we don't even think about it as a potential source of the issues that I just outlined. And because the liver influences the nervous system, like we talked about in our last episode, supporting it can be the difference between feeling inflamed and foggy or clear and energized. And milk thistle helps, but the supplement alone won't fix the underlying issues if lifestyle and daily habits aren't supporting detoxification too. That is where holistic health truly shines. Now let's go over a simple evidence-informed milk thistle protocol that you can use to maximize your liver support. As we talked about, milk thistle works primarily through its main active compound, silymarin. This supports liver repair, reduces inflammation, and protects liver cells. Most research has used a dose of about 140 to 420 milligrams of silymarin per day, and this is generally taken in 2 to 3 divided doses and continued for between 2 to 6 months, dependent on your particular goal and how advanced your liver condition is. The more advanced liver conditions are being treated with around 420 milligrams per day. Now, higher doses don't necessarily mean better results. You do have to be strategic with your dosing. And they've also been finding that silymarin tends to have low absorption, meaning it's not very bioavailable. They're working to develop products that have more of a high bioavailability and are better absorbed. And this obviously makes the protocol more effective. Milk thistle is usually taken with meals to improve absorption and also reduce digestive discomfort. It is considered very safe with only rare to mild side effects. And then for anybody using it long term, specifically for liver disorders, just make sure that you are regularly monitoring your liver enzymes. So you're going in for blood work testing like your ALT, AST, and GGT. You definitely want to track your progress. This is going to alter your dose and just guide your entire experience with this remedy. Now let's talk about whole herb options, meaning we're using the plant and all of its bioactive compounds in synergy. When it comes to what part of the plant to use, the seed is going to have the highest level of silymarin. There is some silymarin in the leaves and stems, but it's a much smaller amount as compared to the seeds. So if you want to use milk thistle in its more whole herbal form, specifically for a little bit more of an advanced liver condition, you want to make sure that you are getting a milk thistle seed extract. This could be liquid or capsule. And for those of us that are just looking for a little bit of extra liver boost, milk thistle tea is very common, and you can absolutely throw some milk thistle leaves and stem into blends, but just know that you are going to get less of the silymarin, which is what scientists are finding is the most bioactive compound in the plant. So we're providing some general, like subtle support, right? It's not going to hurt us. It's only going to help the liver. But again, if you are specifically looking for stronger liver medicine, then you're going to want to explore milk thistle seed extracts. And please always buy from a high quality source. Do a little bit of extra research. You're doing this for your body, so you want to make sure you are paying for stuff that is actually going to benefit you. So in summary, from what I have found in the research, I would say the hype of milk thistle is warranted. And if you want more liver health content, please shoot me a DM. Make sure you send this video to somebody that also wants to learn. Let me know your specific questions. Now, if you've listened to this and you have a slightly more advanced liver condition, you're like feeling a little bit overwhelmed, know that there is room for extra support. Please contact me about doing a one-on-one wellness consistency coaching call. We're going to go through everything together. You never need to feel unsure. and stressed out or overwhelmed again. And even if you're just looking for a little bit of extra liver lovin', you want to clean up your diet, feel a little bit less foggy and inflamed, you are not alone. Most women struggle because their wellness habits lack consistency, not because they don't know what to do or they're doing all the wrong things. You just need a little extra love and support. And that's exactly why I built the Wellness Consistency Coaching Program. It takes the guesswork out of everything. It simplifies nutrition, calms your nervous system, supports your detox pathways, and gives you step-by-step habits that match your real life and give you only practical knowledge. So no overwhelm, no expensive supplements, and just a clear path forward. So if you want to finally feel more regulated, energized, and grounded in your body, head over to thehealthhabit.net/services and join my Wellness Consistency Coaching Program today. Your future self is already thanking you. All right, my loves, that concludes our conversation about milk thistle. I hope you loved it. Make sure you send this episode to your herbal loving friends, and I'll see you next week for next episode of the Health Habit Podcast. Bye, my friends.